I think Liddard beats most middleweights in Britain as it stands.
Before we watch the video, we just wanted to ask you a massive favour.
We just wanted to ask you if you could please take a minute to like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on, and also check out our TikTok for short content and daily updates.
We really want to keep growing the Boxing 365 community and keep making content like this for yourselves, the boxing fan.
And most of all, thank you and enjoy the video.
Hello everybody and welcome back to Boxing 365 for our next episode of the next card in the deck, where we'll be looking at the Conway versus Liddard card. It's going to be courtesy of Eddie Hearn and Matchroom Boxing, the iconic York Hall.
Great card.
Great card.
I've got to apologise in advance, I think for both of us, that, I mean, you're not normally that lively anyway, but my social batteries have gone. I'm running on a little bit on empty. I think it's my ADHD. Phenomenal card, and I'll be honest, if it frustrates me because I love York Hall and I've only managed to go once, and I know you're still waiting.
Yeah, I've still got to get down.
It's a Friday. They're always Friday, and it just means that from a work perspective,
it's very difficult.
So difficult.
Yeah.
But interesting one. This, I think it's a bit of a crossroads fight. You've got the rising superstar in George Liddard, who I rate exceptionally highly, as I know so do you, and Kieran Conway, who suffered a few defeats along his little journey.
Yeah.
But you know what? Experience is with him. He's fought on Canelo undercards. He's fought in America. He's fought everywhere.
Yeah.
He's fought on some big stages, and look, he's lost to a couple of people that. Thing is, it's the way I'm trying to look at it is, would he lose to Amo Williams again? Probably a step too far for him.
Yeah.
But the other two, I think Kieran would probably admit himself that he's in a place now where if he fought them guys again in Sullivan, Sissoko, and Derek Asase,
Yep.
I think he beats them.
Yeah, they were. Well, the Sullivan and Sissoko one was a little bit more recent, but the Derek Asase one was quite a long time ago now, and I think you're probably right. I think he would beat those again. Amo Williams, I'm not sure. I think rated Williams quite highly. Obviously, he's had his losses as well now, but I don't know. I don't know whether he would. I don't think there's anything in it to go back to him, to go back to that fight for him at the minute. But yeah, he's. I think you've got to be a decent level to beat him again. It's one of those fighters where he's going to give you a tough night's work no matter who you are, but only, or at the time, you've got to be a good fighter to beat him. Derek Asase has not really gone and done anything. Sullivan Sissoko, he's gone down in weight. He's gone to welter, and again, he's not really doing much. I think he's won a WBC silver there, but not a lot really. He's still unbeaten, but I think for Liddard to beat Conway, he's going to have to be as good as we think he is.
Yeah, I think,
especially this early in his career, still only 12-0.
I think that's the thing. And I think the thing is with Liddard is he's in a position where if he's not 100% dialed in here, he loses. Kieran Conway has been there, done it. He's lost, so that weight that fighters talk about carrying around with them, that weight's gone.
Yeah,
and he's sharing the ring with some really good fighters. Linus Udofia, Ryan Kelly, Jerome Warburton.
There's some of his recent fights there,
and there's
where
lists.
He picked up and defended his titles.
Yeah, and there's fights below that, and I just think he's really turned a corner for me, Conway. I think he got to a point where it was sort of a match I'm going to stick with him. He picked up a few losses. He didn't particularly look impressive in a few of his fights, and I think he's come on leaps and bounds. I think he's maturing really, really late.
Yeah. I think one of the big, actually that Ryan Kelly fight, we were there for it. It was value for money all day,
brilliant.
And I think that probably did a lot for him. Yeah. Obviously picking up titles as well, and once he'll look to defend his Commonwealth and British titles in this fight. So I think that's probably done wonders for him. And if he was to, again, A side and B side, but if he was to beat Liddard, then it's sort of like, okay, no, he is of a certain level, and maybe stick him in there with somebody a bit different. But for me, I do think Liddard is that good.
I'm on the fence with this fight hugely because I think Liddard beats most middleweights in Britain as it stands. Conway's awkward.
Yeah, he's tricky, isn't he?
He's tough. He's awkward. He's good as well. Like, let's not just call him awkward. He's good.
Yeah.
And I think for me with Conway, it reminds me a little bit of sort of like Conor Walker.
Yeah.
In regards that he got probably put in a little bit tough early on, lost a couple of fights, never quite found that momentum. They've gone back, they've reset him, and he's now, he's picked up the Commonwealth, he's picked up the British, he's defended it, and he's working himself through the levels. And I think Conway, will he go and win a world title? I'm not sure. Probably not.
Couldn't necessarily. I think you'd find that he'd fall short at that level.
I think he's European level.
Yeah.
I think he's in and around that European level. I think he's a phenomenal fighter for someone like George Liddard.
Yeah, this has been a great bit of matchmaking.
Oh, phenomenal. Yeah. Phenomenal. This is one of the best bits of matchmaking over the last few months in regards to British boxing. I think it's an absolute banger, guaranteed to be fireworks.
I don't think it's necessary, even if he was to lose, I don't think it's necessarily gonna
it won't kill any of them.
Chuck him in the bin. I think if Liddard was to lose, it's going to be maybe that was just a bit of a step too far. We know Conway's awkward. And if Conway's to lose, it's going to go, wow, look at George Liddard, it looks amazing.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's necessarily going to be a nightmare for it. It's not really a losing situation for either of them.
No.
But I do think that he's going to have a tough night, but if he's as good as we think he is, he's going in there to try and put that division on notice, as we said earlier.
There's so many things I could say about George Liddard, but I'm conscious I don't want to just talk about it. But I think it's a good opportunity to move on to his middleweight friend in Mr. Jimmy Sains.
Yeah, so then moving down the rest of the card, Jimmy Sains, Troy Coleman, middleweight for the English title, actually.
Yep.
Jimmy Sains is 10-0 with 9 stoppages.
Heavy-handed.
Yeah, he debuted in September 2023, so he's been pretty busy since then, really.
He's a curious one. So Jimmy Sains and for me, George Liddard have sort of swapped places and run with me on this. It will make sense. So when Jimmy Sains came out, heavy-handed middleweight, you could see it was destructive. Like he came out, it was fan friendly. People loved to watch him. And there was this massive talk up about how quickly he's going to move, and at the right time, maybe George Liddard and Sains will meet each other. And I just think that Liddard's development has just shot up the levels. And for me, the turning point was when we were at Sheffield, and he was I think that was only his 6th, 7th bout, George Liddard.
It was early,
and he was so mature. He was so calculated. He didn't smother his work. He could understand that when his opponent was hurt, that he'd take a few step back, measure, understand, and you don't see that a lot with young fighters.
No.
But this, for me, this could be the upset.
Yeah.
Jimmy Sains is heavy-handed, but he's not shown me a lot of anything else at the minute. Liddard's shown he can whack a bit. He's defensively very good. He can come forward. He can go back. He's very mature. He's very calculated. His ring craft's brilliant. Jimmy Sains has shown bits, but other than him being a bit heavy-handed and a bit of an handful, he's just not shown me enough.
Well, his opponent, Troy Coleman, 14 wins, 3 losses, 1 draw, 6 stoppages. So again, a couple of stoppages on a 14-win record. But he has been stopped before, which means against a heavy-handed fighter, might get stopped again. You never know. But he lost to Isaac Hardman and Jan Marcos, but he also lost to River Wilson Bent. And again, you can't really take anything away from him particularly to River Wilson Bent.
Yeah, absolutely.
And his draw came to Robbie Chapman, though. No, never. And we've said we're going to have to talk about the importance of journeyman, but if you are drawing to Robbie Chapman,
so I'm going to stand at the defence here of Robbie Chapman, okay, for 2 reasons. A, I haven't checked it, but it was probably a 4-rounder. 4-rounders are a nightmare.
Yeah, not enough time to.
Yeah, generally speaking, we've seen in shorter fights people like Dan Aziz, for example, draw against lower opposition. If Robbie Chapman came out and tried, that's not fair. If he came out and wanted to win every fight, A, you'd be out of work, but B, he'd give a lot of these guys a good run. Robbie Chapman is awkward. He's unorthodox. He's very, very good. Should Troy Coleman be beating a Robbie Chapman? Yes. But he'll be up for this, Troy.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting fight. It's going to be a good enough test for Jimmy Sains, who again is only 10-0, still relatively early in
He's
his
a baby,
career.
isn't he? Yeah.
So it's probably going to be a bit of a tricky night's work for him. But if he did go and stop him and add another stoppage to his record, it's probably.
I think it's then time to roll the dice a little bit.
It's got to be time to step up a bit. Like you said, you're looking at Liddard, who's going and fighting Conway for British and Commonwealth titles. That's not to take away from Sains, who's fighting for the English title, but you feel that if he does go and win, it's got to be time to go kick him a bit. But it might be that people aren't seeing enough of what they want to see yet.
Yeah,
So.
and this is it. And I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Jimmy and with George, purely for the basis that I think if George loses and Jimmy wins, I think there's a fight there to be made. And I think if George wins, I think Jimmy can then go on and look at people like your Conways and your Dofias, Jerome Warburton. There's, this
follow
fight.
a similar track.
Yeah, absolutely. There's good enough depth of talent in the British pool at middleweight. So.
Yeah, absolutely there is. Moving on to our third fight, which is Shannon Ryan, Chloe Watson.
Yep.
For the IBF Intercontinental belt at super flyweight.
Yep. Good fight.
Yeah, it is a decent fight. We've got Shannon Ryan is 9-1 with one stoppage. We've said before, it's always nice to see a stoppage.
Yeah.
Because you don't see that many of them over in the
women's
side,
boxing,
other than at a pretty high level.
Or Tiah
Ayton, who we'll get onto later. But yeah, pretty good to see. And she lost. Her loss is to Emma Dolan. Lost a split decision for the British and Commonwealth titles. So fought a sort of decent level British Commonwealth and lost a split decision. It happens, doesn't it?
Emma Dolan's a good fighter as well. She was recently ranked in the BoxRec rankings in the top 10 female pound for pound list in Britain.
Really?
So she's very, very good. Shannon Ryan is also very, very good.
Yeah.
Chloe Watson, I think, has got a little bit of something. So Chloe Watson, I'd be concerned where her mind will be at. So obviously she was trained by the late Ricky Hatton.
Yeah.
Coming off a loss against Jasmina Zapakotna.
Yep, that's right.
But again, no shame in that. Jasmina's been in and around world level for as long as I can remember. She's very, very good, very tough. And again, if you're not on your absolute best, she'll beat you. Swap a 50-50. As in, honest to God, I'm going to have to toss a coin on who I'm picking for this.
Yeah, the records are very similar.
Yeah.
9-1 and 8-1 for Chloe Watson. And yeah, there's not much to split them really. Again, only that
there's nothing.
There's a stoppage on Shannon Ryan's record. There isn't one on Chloe Watson's. And other than that, it's a very, very close fight, I would say, and an interesting one. And it's probably the right sort of stage for them, I think.
I think so.
York Hall's
a
nice place to be. From what we've seen of it, unfortunately, I've not been myself yet.
I'd love to be under the lights at York Hall. Talk about it a lot about me wanting to be a fighter.
You do.
I'd be a good journeyman. I'd probably lose all the time.
You wouldn't have a choice.
I absolutely wouldn't have a choice. No.
But yeah, I mean, I think that's going to be a good one. And you mentioned TMA, who we'll talk about later, who has got a couple of stoppages already.
She has.
But we're probably going to see this one go in the distance and be a decent display. And I think if obviously this is for the IBF Intercontinental, probably going to mean that the next fight for them is going to be a decent next level as well.
Yeah, it's a ranking belt in it. It's to get them higher up them rankings. And the thing is, women's boxing, there's more depth than ever. So hopefully they'll, to be honest, I think win or lose. I think with women, we see it with Sandy Ryan. Win or lose, what these guys will end up in a good fight.
Yeah.
Which is good.
There is enough about them that they'll find more fights, won't they?
Absolutely.
Next up is Taylor Bevan.
Another exciting middleweight.
Yeah.
Or super middleweight.
Super middle.
Sorry.
So Taylor Bevan and Lucas Ferneza, as you said, super middleweight. It's going to be an 8-rounder. So Taylor Bevan is 5-0 now with 5 stoppages. We were there for his debut in Birmingham.
Last November?
Yeah, last November. And then he's gone and this will be his 5th fight in
Love that.
2025.
Love that.
So keep him really active.
Yep.
And yeah, just can't really fault him for that. Said we had a look at his 5-0, so he's not going to be fighting massive names.
He's not fought Canelo yet.
But he fought a couple of fighters with decent records. I think particularly we said Zdenko Boule had a decent enough record and probably a decent test for him. Again, I think probably much the same for this fight for Taylor Bevan. Ferneza is 6-3 with 3 stoppages. It's his first fight in the UK.
It's hard, isn't it? Because I think the thing is sometimes when it comes to, we talk about rolling the dice a lot when it comes to prospects. At what point do you roll the dice? What point do you step them up? And Matchroom, people argue that they say that Eddie Hearn's sometimes too aggressive with his matchmaking. I think it's brilliant. I think it's sink or swim at this. I think sometimes you've got to be like that. But with regards to the rolling of the dice, I think it can also relate to, you've got Taylor Bevan who needs rounds. Okay, he's stopping everyone. He stopped everyone that's been put in front of him. They've gone out, they've looked at this guy. My guess is there's not a lot of footage on him. They've gone, right, records there, looks tough. Right, we'll roll the dice. We'll get him over. They don't know how he's going to deal with it. They're going to put him in a hotel. He's probably not going to have the greatest room in the world. He's going to be stuck there for a week. Does he speak much English? We don't know. It's an alien environment for a lot of these guys. And it's tough, especially with a fighter like Taylor, who I think is genuinely, he's got the potential to go on and do really good things in the sport.
Yeah, it looks fantastic, doesn't it?
So good. And I just think it's hard to match him. And I think if he carries on doing what he's doing, it's going to get to that point where he's title. You're just going to have to go, right, it's title fights. It's whether that be area titles, which I think, to be honest, he probably walks through.
Yeah.
But your English titles, your Commonwealth Silvers.
Yeah, stuff to drag him up them rankings.
You've got to, and it
gives
other people the excuse to fight them.
Yeah,
because people aren't going to fight Taylor Bevan for 15 grand. They're going to go, nope, I'm all right.
They're not going to fight him for nothing, are they?
No, absolutely all right.
In it.
Whereas if there's a belt on the line and there's an opportunity to go, okay, do you know what? This could be my springboard to do bigger things.
Yeah,
people will be willing to take that risk.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're going to be another little test for Bevan in what's been a very active year, but shouldn't be anything to slow his progress, really. I mean, it'd be interesting if he did end up going the distance in this fight. Can't really see it myself, but I think as well, if he did, it would probably be a conscious effort to go the distance. Not, can't get him out of there. It'll be right, Taylor, enough now. Come on. Nobody's going to want to fight you.
Let's work on a few bits. Yeah.
Let's drag it out a bit. Okay, and then we're going to have a little talk about. We're not going to necessarily go into too much. We're just looking at some of the emerging talent at the bottom of the card. We'll start off with Emmanuel Buttigieg.
Lely. Another middleweight.
It's the night for middleweight. Super middleweight.
Honestly, Matchroom have got a terrifying young stable of super middles coming through.
Yeah.
Another brilliant fighter. Absolutely brilliant. I know you said we were discussing his best win. Grant Dennis.
Yeah.
Tough fighter. Stopped him. Mate, Lely Buttigieg, Jimmy Sains, George Liddard, if they all continue to keep winning, it is an exciting scene for that middleweight division. And then you've still got other, in and around that, you've still got other fighters, like, for example, our boy Troy Williamson.
Going
to be needing a fight.
Yeah.
He's just come off of, again, fighting at super middle for the English title.
Yeah.
There's fights. You've got Callum Simpson. You've got light heavyweights. You've got normal middleweight. The world's your oyster, and I think it's a super exciting scene.
There's tests around there, isn't there?
100%.
There's plenty to look at and go, that can make some good fights here. 100%. I think there's just got to be that, making sure that certain people are going to be on a trajectory where they're not going to want to go, yeah, I'll fight Troy Williamson. So not an easy. You've got to be confident going into that fight, and you could face what has just happened and face Troy Williamson that's going to.
Yeah, I was going to start that debate of these 4 middleweights that we're talking about, how they would get on with the Troy, but that debate will go on for 15 minutes.
No, that would take us some time, I think, especially carrying the confidence and looking how he looked last time out. That would be
love Troy
a test. But yeah, Buttigieg's 9-0, 3 stoppages. Like you said, Grant Dennis stoppage for him was brilliant. It doesn't look like this fight's going to be much of a step up for him, but that's not, again, pretty early in his career. It's not necessarily a concern. But what I would say, I think, is that after this,
we'll start
it needs to, again, like we were just saying there, probably start thinking about area titles or whatever. And
yeah,
9-0 probably, again, breeze through those. So looking at English titles and things like that. So yeah, another one with a bright future. Probably the person or one of the people most excited to see again now. With
best female in females boxing, obviously, not
yeah.
best female in males boxing, for clarity.
Out very, very recently, which is the same as one of the next people we're going to talk about on the Pat McCormack Miguel Parra card.
Yep.
TMA Ayton, 2-0, 2 stoppages.
She's the queen to female boxing, throne, without a shadow of a doubt. I said it in the last video. I'm going to say it again. I keep saying it. I keep saying it. I keep saying it. She is phenomenal, without a shadow of a doubt. The best prospect in female boxing, and already probably one of the best pound for pound 10 in the world for female boxing.
Really?
Without a shadow of a doubt. Record, look, they're not going to put her there. She hasn't fought anyone of note yet. I am telling you.
I think, so this fight, her opponent, which I have to apologise, I've not actually written her name down. Her opponent for this fight has gone the distance with Fran Hennessy and Chloe Watson.
Yep.
Chloe Watson, who's also on this card. And obviously, Tiah's stopped both of her initial opponents. If she was to stop this opponent as well, when she stops this opponent as well, it is going to be another statement of this person took Fran Hennessy and Chloe Watson the distance.
You've demolished her.
And I've stopped her. And then I think it's got to be 2 more fights, maybe not even.
No, I wouldn't even.
And
I'll be honest.
Literally just send her off.
Look, I appreciate.
Ship her off to the next world title.
Yeah, I appreciate I'm not the not a matchmaker, but for me, I'd be looking at the Shannon Ryan Chloe Watson fight, and I'd be thinking
that's a good next opponent.
Whoever loses that, there's your opportunity. It gives them a chance to go, do you know what, I'm above this.
Yeah.
Or a chance to get flattened, most likely flattened by Tiah. Phenomenal. Don't need to say any more about her. Best female talent.
Yeah.
Period.
Well, the next fighter was also out on the Pat McCormack Miguel Parra card. Adam Maca.
Special.
Also 2-0. Also 2 stoppages.
Also very special.
As a super bantam. So, yeah, it's only his 3rd fight. So we've talked about this quite a lot. And
I feel like
we don't want to push fight too early.
Yeah.
And ruin or upset the start of their career.
Yep.
It's not a step up.
No.
His opponent has 1 win and 21 losses.
It's exactly what we like to see.
But I don't think he doesn't need a step up. He doesn't need that yet. He needs to get used to fighting as pro, settle in, probably pick up. I don't want to jinx him. Probably pick up another win. Probably pick up another stoppage as well. From I could tell from this chap's record.
Yeah.
And then, like I say, it's going to be probably a little bit like Taylor Bevan. They need to find him at some point, some rounds. So that's probably what he'll have to look at in the next couple of fights, is picking up some rounds, so that once he gets to 7, 8-0, he can start going, right, I've got the rounds, I've got the experience, I know I've got the stopping power because I've shown that already. Now I need to move up the rankings, pick up some.
Yeah, it is tough, because if in an ideal world, all of these young fighters, you would just see them straight in world title fights and see how they get on. But there is a skill to it, and I think you look at someone like Dalton, for example, who's now going for his first world title fight, and you look at how well he was stepped up the levels.
His development's been very good, hasn't it?
It was managed very, very well, and I just think, for me, I'm a fucker for going, roll the dice. They've got coaches for a reason. Let's develop them.
Yeah, we're not.
Nope.
We're not matchmakers or promoters or coaches. And then the last one was an honourable mention for Jermaine, butcher his last name, Dhliwayo.
Del Boy's cousin.
Yeah,
nephew.
His nephew.
Sorry.
Yeah, big Derek Chisora's nephew. This Jermaine is a featherweight, 6-0, 2 stoppages. I said to you, this is probably a terrible thing to say,
Yeah, go
but I picture Derek Chisora's family as all being absolute
Derek-sized
units and terrifying units.
I see.
So it did make me smile when I saw that Jermaine was a featherweight.
No, I think again he's a talented kid. He's obviously on the card because he's talented, but he's also on the card because he's Derek Chisora's nephew. And let's be honest, if Derek Chisora came to you and said, "Oh,
nephew in your call, please.
Derek, he's got 28 losses, no wins. He's turned a corner. No worries. I absolutely agree. 100%.
But fortunately for Jermaine, that isn't the case. He is 6-0, and yeah, hopefully, it's again. I said it already. It's a good place to be.
Yeah,
as we've got all this emerging talent. Even further up the card, obviously, that's what your call's for. Further up the card, we've got fighters who are early in their career who are going to go and be in the intimate York Hall. A different kind of pressure, very I said prestigious place to fight, isn't it? And
one of the best venues in world boxing, period.
Yeah, and so I think it's a great place for all these young fighters, and hopefully they're all going to have a great night and winning night, and we'll see them moving on.
Not all
of them.
Not all of them.
Well, fortunately, that's what we're going to next. So,
predictions.
We will have from you, Tom. I'm going to work from the top down.
Yeah.
And
stretching my neck
again,
out, ready.
nice and quick as always. Conway Liddard.
Conway points.
Sains Coleman.
Coleman points.
Okay.
Sorry.
Shannon Ryan, Chloe Watson.
Shannon Ryan points.
Okay. Bevan Ferneza.
Bevan stoppage.
Yeah. And Buttigieg, is he going to carry on?
Probably not a stoppage, but Buttigieg wins.
Yeah. And then we've got TMA Ayton.
Stoppage.
I think I know that one.
Maca, stoppage. And then just because it's Derek Chisora's nephew, stoppage, because I don't want to get beat up.
Yeah, to be honest, I think based on his record, I could probably see points. But yeah, I agree with you there. He's going to stop him. Right, okay. What's going to be the fight of the night?
Conway Liddard.
Okay.
It's going to be a good fight. It's going to be close as well.
I think it is. I would have to agree there. What's going to be your upset, though? A and B side, remember?
Oh, yeah. So in that case, I've gone for Coleman to beat Sains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not happy to do that, by the way. I like Jimmy Sains. Just
could see that being the most likely.
I think he will. I think it'll be the upset. I think Coleman will figure him out early.
Yeah.
And I think that'll be all she wrote, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, time will tell. Okay, so from you then, as we know what this card is, we know what it's designed to be.
Yep.
At your call, what would you rate the card out of 10?
9.
9.
Another 9. Second 9 on the bounce.
Yeah, 2 in a row. Okay. Is that because the venue's iconic?
Great
Not
venue.
just for us.
Great venue. Great next gen headliner. British title. I think Kieran Conway I think he's still part of that. As silly as it is, I think he's still part of that sort of prospect pot. We don't really know. He's 30 fights into his pro career, and we still don't really know what he's about.
Yeah.
George Liddard, phenomenal. You've got an absolutely superb roster of young fighters there.
Yeah.
Yeah, love it.
9. Okay, fair enough. Right. For the final part, we've got our Rate the Robot. We're going to have a look at AI, see what AI makes of it, and we'll go from there. So, the main event, Conway wins by unanimous decision.
Okay, I can deal with that.
Sains wins by TKO, round 6 to 7.
Fair enough.
Okay.
See it.
Powered,
yeah, you can see it.
Ryan by split decision. Very close technical fight, it says.
Yep.
Bevan to stop Lucas Ferneza. Buttigieg to stop his opponent, Shembri. TMA Ayton by decision.
No.
No.
Loser.
Again, that could be looking at Valda Benito's record and who she's fought and who she's gone distance with.
Finally remembered her name, did you?
Yeah. Maca to stop his opponent.
Yep.
And Jermaine Dhliwayo to win by unanimous decision.
Fair enough.
I like that we backed pretty much all of our rising talent there, with the exception, unfortunately,
the top two
of the main event.
Sorry.
Yeah, never mind.
I might change my mind.
Never mind.
Depends on
what. It's because, as you said, it's a tricky fight. But we don't know. Liddard could be even better than we think and go out there and make light work of it.
I want Liddard to win. Just don't know if he will.
Well, we're no experts, but that's what we've looked at. That's what we've seen. That's what AI predicts. That's it for this next corner deck. So once again, as always, thank you all very much for watching. Please do drop us a subscribe and a like, and we will see you in the next episode.
See you later, guys.